Hey, I'm Chad Harlan with Magpul, and just wanted to talk through the 10th anniversary of the PMAG that we're celebrating. So if you kind of look over here on the beginning of the timeline, you'll see the very first USGI magazine enhancements, which is kind of like what we started with. 2004, 2006, we started developing the first polymer, well, first for us, not the first ever polymer magazine, but the first polymer magazine for us. And 2007 actually released the first generation PMAG. So I won't go into every single detail, but we have a kind of a variety of different prototypes, 3D prints, molds, and different test things that we did. Some of them actually made it to market, some did not. One that did not was the quad stack 60 round magazine. And then in 2009, so we have the second generation of the PMAG was launched in 2009. One that I'm pretty excited about was actually the Emag. So the Emag was something that we developed for the British military, specifically to run more reliably in the HK416. So they also wanted it as light as it could possibly be. So we basically just took out all the any extra stuff and just made it as light as it could. I thought this was a really cool one. So 2011, here we actually have one of the EMAGs that was used by that SEAL team in Afghanistan. So this particular mag was not used to shoot bin Laden on that raid, but it was part of that team's loadout for that deployment. And so we were able to get a couple of those and include one here in the booth. So I think that's extra cool. As you kind of go down the row, you'll see more testing that we've done with translucent and clear materials. To date, I think we've done about 48 different materials and have yet to find one that meets our standards for reliability, durability. And so, because a lot of people have asked, why not a clear mag? And it's not that we don't like the idea, it's just that we haven't found one that meets our standards. So one of these days, you never know, if we find one, you'll probably see one. We have the magazine for 2012 was the release of the PMAG Gen M3, and so that's the one that is currently available still. And then you can kind of see here we've gotten into 7.62 AK. We had the first 3D print of a drum mag, but this one I think is also really cool. Is a prototype that we probably never intended to actually go to production, but it was used on the Colorado State Senate floor as part of the argument for the 2013 gun laws, saying how it was kind of futile to be limiting rounds per magazine, because one of the many things that a person could do is just put an extension onto a 20-round mag and turn it into a 40-round mag. So I thought that was kind of a cool piece of history there. So obviously 2015 was the D60 drum mag commercial release. We came out with box magazines for the Remington 700 platform, short action, long action, Magnum. And then that kind of brings us to present, where we came out with the MCTP Mag medium Coyote Tan. So the reason that we came out with that color was to meet with the Army Small Arms Weapons Color Neutral program. So they have a certain a spectrum of color that they needed it to fit into, and medium Coyote Tan is smack in the middle of that, so hence the MCT Mag. We've, if you saw earlier some of the different magazines, we've tested a lot of different colors, and some colors, depending on how they're formulated, can actually affect the durability of the magazine. So another great thing about the MCT is that we're able to formulate it in such a way that is just as strong as the black and sand mags that we already have in production. So lastly, we've kind of put together what we call some PMAGs with a story. And so basically we were able to obtain, I already mentioned the one with the Abbottabad raid in Afghanistan. We have a Pat Rogers PMAG. We have some others that have been deployed. We have this one that's kind of if you've ever seen that video online of Drake Clark testing the first PMAG on full auto. So we have that, and that's actually been loaded continuously since 2007. So I thought that was kind of fun. And then we thought we'd throw in a little pop culture, so we even had some of the guys from Walking Dead sign that PMAG that was used on the show. Probably the biggest thing, the biggest news, at least for us, is recently the United States Marine Corps has adopted, after testing a variety of USGI and commercial magazines, thousands and thousands of rounds of fired through those magazines, has adopted the PMAG as the only magazine that is approved for use in combat. And so we're of course super proud of that.